Stagflation is the specific intersection of rising consumer prices and a decelerating economy. When these two forces collide, the standard tools used by central banks to manage growth often become counterproductive. In this environment, businesses face rising input costs while consumer demand weakens. Historically, this has led to a compression of corporate earnings and significant corrections in equity markets. The historical record for this condition is consistent. Since the early 20th century, there is no recorded instance of a major economy entering a prolonged state of stagflation without subsequently facing a recession or a systemic financial crisis. Today, the data points to a similar tightening. Core inflation in the U.S. remains above 3%, while systemic credit is contracting, and 5 of the last 10 employment reports show a clear cooling in the labor market. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the institution responsible for setting U.S. interest rates, recently addressed this uncertainty directly, stating that the central bank does not currently have a clear projection for the economic path forward. While market participants are pricing in a return to lower interest rates, 3 structural vectors are working against that outcome: localized energy constraints, a global decline in working-age populations, and the displacement of entry-level knowledge work by artificial intelligence. These factors suggest we are moving away from the low interest rate environment of the last decade and into a period defined by higher baseline costs and increased market volatility. The Federal Reserve's internal data reflects this growing difficulty in reaching their 2% inflation target. This is the Fed's dot plot, a chart showing where officials expect future interest rates. Recently, their projections for core inflation were redrawn higher, moving from 2.4% to 2.7%. Meanwhile, current data holds at 3.1%, leaving the actual trendline horizontal, far above their 2% target. One reason for this resistance is the Producer Price Index, or PPI. PPI measures the inflation businesses pay for raw materials and services before they reach the consumer. It is a leading indicator of where consumer prices are headed. The most recent core PPI data arrived at 3.9% annually. This is nearly double the central bank's target and occurred before the most recent disruptions in global energy markets. This suggests that the baseline cost of production was already rising before external shocks, creating a higher floor for inflation than most current economic models assume. That production cost is now being further pressured by volatility in the oil market. Oil impacts the economy most directly through diesel fuel. Because diesel powers global shipping, runs massive freight networks, and fuels agricultural sectors, its price dictates the final cost of almost all physical goods. Federal Reserve estimates show that a 10% increase in the price of crude oil leads to an immediate 1.5% jump in the broader energy index. These energy costs filter directly into the core PCE, or personal consumption expenditures. This is the Fed's preferred metric for tracking inflation, as it reflects the actual spending patterns of households. As a result, market expectations are shifting. This probability curve now shows a 4.1% chance of an interest rate hike. While small, this represents a significant shift from 6 months ago, when the market saw a rate hike as an impossible scenario. This shift is forcing the unwinding of large market positions that were built on the assumption of a weakening U.S. dollar. As the prospect of high rates persists, the dollar strengthens, causing a sell-off in assets like gold and equities as investors reduce their leverage. The emergence of this 4.1% probability is the market's first acknowledgement that a prolonged period of stagflation makes a return to zero interest rate policy increasingly unlikely. While the U.S. has significant domestic energy production, Europe remains the most vulnerable point in this global crisis. Europe's vulnerability is largely a result of energy policy, specifically the dismantling of nuclear baseload power. Germany, for example, closed its final nuclear plants in the midst of the 2023 energy shortage. This reduction in domestic power generation created an immediate reliance on imported liquefied natural gas, or LNG. Unlike pipeline gas, LNG must be supercooled and transported across oceans on specialized tankers. This reliance on global maritime shipping means that European energy security is now tied to the stability of distant trade routes. Consequently, European industrial manufacturers now pay between 2 and 3 times more for energy than their competitors in the United States or China. Any disruption to these supply lines, such as a drone strait or a blockage in the Persian Gulf, can cause European natural gas futures to double in price in a single trading session. The European Central Bank, led by Christine Lagarde, has responded by shifting its tone. The bank has begun using the phrase "monitor closely," a term historically reserved for periods where the bank is preparing for aggressive interest rate defenses. Internal ECB modeling for a severe scenario projects inflation staying as much as 300 basis points above their target for several years. A basis point is a unit of measure equal to 1/100th of a percentage point. This energy deficit creates a scenario where the ECB may be forced to keep interest rates high to combat inflation, even as the European economy faces a potential recession. Beyond energy, a more permanent shift is occurring in the global labor market, a demographic decline that is reversing decades of economic trends. In China, the birth rate has dropped to 5.6 per thousand, the lowest since the mid-20th century. Current projections suggest the Chinese population could be reduced by half by the end of this century. As the workforce in the factory of the world shrinks, kindergarten enrollments are falling, and facilities are being converted into senior centers. This demographic shift removes the global economy's primary source of low-cost labor. As workers become more scarce, the cost of production rises, embedding inflation into the global supply chain. At the same time, young workers in advanced economies are facing the sudden impact of automation in the knowledge sector. Artificial intelligence is now capable of performing entry-level tasks, such as data analysis and administrative support, at a fraction of the previous cost, potentially eliminating the initial career steps for many graduates. Asset managers like BlackRock have noted that these automation trends could drive youth unemployment to significantly higher levels, regardless of whether the broader economy is in a recession. The combination of a shrinking taxpayer base and high youth unemployment creates a structural pressure that is difficult for modern economies to resolve. When these three vectors, energy costs, demographic decline, and automation, are viewed together, they form a clear path. They indicate a structural environment where inflation remains resistant to traditional interest rate cuts. Historically, however, geopolitical shocks have a limited impact on market prices over the long term. Data suggests that after such events, equity markets often begin to stabilize within a 6-month window. This recovery primarily rewards investors who maintain a disciplined strategy, rather than those who exit the market during a period of high volatility. One tactical response to this environment is the maintenance of liquidity. In a restrictive credit environment where banks reduce lending, holding cash provides the ability to acquire assets when they are trading at a significant discount. When credit contracts, it often forces liquidations across the economy, creating opportunities for those with the reserves to deploy capital. A second strategy is systematic accumulation, often called dollar-cost averaging. This chart shows the mechanical advantage of this approach. By investing a fixed amount at regular intervals, you automatically purchase a larger volume of an asset when its price is low, lowering your average cost over time. The period of low interest rates and low volatility that defined the last decade is concluding. This change marks a return to a more standard, though more difficult, economic environment. While the convergence of these structural pressures makes for a challenging outlook, the application of disciplined liquidity management and systematic accumulation can allow an investor to navigate these periods of transition effectively.